Thank you very much. I call Patrick Harvie to open for the Green Party.
Once upon a time, not so very long ago, we might have thought that the implausible claims of the Brexiteers just sounded like the sort of nonsense spouted by desperate campaigners who didn't think they had a hope of winning, promises they were confident they'd never be held to. So when Liam Fox said, "Believe me, we'll have up to 40 trade agreements ready for 1 second after midnight in March 2019, we might have thought it was just laughable. Now it's contemptible. When David Davis said, "Within minutes of a vote for Brexit, CEOs would be knocking down Chancellor Merkel's door demanding access to the British market," or when Dan Hannan said, "Absolutely nobody is threatening our place in the single market," we might have thought that some people were threatening our place in that single market. But it's clear now that those who are arguing for leaving the European Union were keen at the time to emphasise the benefits of a soft Brexit, maintaining a close connection with the single market, while secretly planning the very opposite. Then we saw the result, a knife-edge result across the UK as a whole, and 2 of the 4 nations of the UK voting remain. And we might have thought, when we saw that result, that a 52-48 vote must mean a compromise, must mean reaching out across those divided lines and achieving a soft Brexit. We might have thought, as Ruth Davidson did, that maintaining our position in that single market and maintaining freedom of movement was the right course to take. And if that course had been taken, I suspect the most committed Remainers amongst us would probably have had to accept that compromise. And yet, so long after this process has been underway, Theresa May has refused repeatedly to face down her extremist wing. We might have thought that the Prime Minister must eventually decide which wing of her party she's on. She can't keep pretending to be on both. Yet month after month after month, she has continued to put her own efforts at party unity ahead of the national interest, apparently deluding herself that everyone from Jacob Rees-Mogg to Dominic Grieve could be held to the same policy. And then we heard, "Brexit means Brexit." Well, it was a funny line the first time it was used, but we might have thought, she can't be serious. That can't really be all she's got. Nearly 3 years on, all we have seen is a display of incompetence on an historic scale. And as the days tick down to the self-imposed deadline, still, no one in this country knows what our fundamental relationship will be with our nearest neighbours in just a few weeks' time. Brexit means Brexit is still all they've got. And leaders of both the main UK parties deny that they're just letting the clock run down. Yet time after time, they have delayed the decisions that we all know must be taken. This chaos must be stopped. I welcome the fact that Jeremy Corbyn and Richard Leonard, as we've heard, are now backing a people's vote, because the choices are simple. The withdrawal agreement, the cliff edge, or seeking the consent of the people to stop this mess and stay in the European Union. Well, the withdrawal agreement has already been rejected. And it's increasingly clear that the changes that the Brexit ultras want to see to abandon the people of the island of Ireland will not happen. The PM cannot get this through with the support of Conservatives, the ERG and the DUP alone. It's also clear that a meagre bung to Labour MPs in Leave voting seats will only alienate opposition even more strongly. The no-deal cliff edge also cannot be tolerated. Today, the Scottish Parliament and the Welsh Assembly will say so clearly, and we know that a majority of MPs will say so as well. The UK government must abandon its strategy of threatening every part of the UK with that self-destructive path. So we must now choose between delaying or revoking Article 50. Now, many people rightly ask what use a delay would be unless it opens up a fundamentally new path. And the answer to that question is obvious. A people's vote to allow the public the choice to cancel this crisis. And I'm sorry to Jackson Carlo, but I don't think that his discomfort with the prospect of fighting another referendum campaign amounts to any kind of principled reason to say that democracy ended in June 2016. In closing, Presiding Officer, can I just say as well, I have heard many people say that if a people's vote takes place, if Brexit is cancelled, there will be those who feel betrayed, that it will hand an opportunity to the far right to seek a culture of betrayal and grievance. There is that danger. That same danger exists if Brexit is completed, because those far-right forces, which have been so consciously cultivated and unleashed by the Leave campaign, will still be there if Brexit is completed. And they will use a sense of triumphalism just as much as they would use a sense of betrayal. That threat exists in our society now. Those who have campaigned for Leave are culpable for creating that threat. We'll have to face it down, whatever happens with Brexit. In the meantime, we should all unite in supporting today's motion so that the Scottish Parliament and the Welsh Assembly speak with a clear voice. Extend, revoke, give the choice back to the people.